every day, every day, every
Welcome back to another episode of Me Plus You. This is episode 12?
Yeah, I want to say 12.
12. I am your wonderful host, Kaya.
And it's your boy, Jordan.
Today we are going to be talking about toxic culture, which Jordan knows all too well.
That's all cap. All cap.
It is to be extremely harsh, malicious, or harmful. According to Urban Dictionary, it is an adjective used to describe a usually very negative person, spread unnecessary hate, or just talk shit about others.
Yeah, WebMD, for all you people out there who are always searching stuff on the internet, and everyone knows that WebMD make you bug the fuck out. But
that
honestly,
is a rabbit hole.
but honestly, this article right here that I found on WebMD about signs of a toxic person, it seems pretty informative actually. So pretty much it reads, a toxic person is anyone whose behavior adds negativity and upset to your life.
Tell us the 7 traits of a toxic person.
Alright, so pretty much, yeah, just so y'all know, for this episode, I've been on my little research thing, you know, finding articles and shit like it's social studies class.
Yeah, I bet you wasn't doing this when you was in school.
Definitely was not.
Because I wrote some papers for you.
You did? Guess what? I walked across that stage, got my nice certificate.
I did. While you find your article, I was dating Jordan when he was like at the end of his college career. And he was, I don't know, he was just giving me like, not lazy vibes, but it was just like, I'm like, don't you got a paper due? Yeah. I'm like, did you start it?
It was definitely lazy vibes. To my defense, I was working as a correctional officer.
This was my story time. You're supposed to be finding your article, and I'm telling my own story. I wrote some papers for him. And after I wrote one, and you seen that A, then he just was like, you want to write me another paper? But that's probably how I got this ring.
Yeah, I was always taught to use your resources.
How many papers did I write? At least like 4.
Nah.
More than that?
No. It was like 2
I definitely wrote like 3 or 4.
Like 2 or 3. Alright, so 7 warning signs a person is toxic. Whether it's a partner, a friend, a colleague,
your boss.
Let me just help you understand some of these red flags. Alright. So, sign number 1. You're left feeling emotionally exhausted after an encounter with them.
Let's tap into that.
So, alright, so pretty much what this article states is we leave encounters with some people feeling uplifted, loved, inspired, or just the same as we went into them. But you might notice that with others, you come away feeling drained. So let's just say if...
I know so many people that I feel that way.
So let's just say if you're just in an argument with somebody and... I'm not going to say satisfied because you don't have to feel satisfied. At the end of the day, some arguments aren't meant to...
be one.
To be one. Is meant to have an understanding of each other's feelings end of the day. But if you're just leaving this shit just kind of like giving up hope, like just like this shit is so fucking draining, like I'm just over it. You know, it's signs are that person who you're having an argument, whether if you're the toxic person who's kind of having someone else feeling drained, or if you're feeling drained, you know, it's
somebody toxic.
That's some toxic shit.
I can think of friendships that way. Even if it's not on purpose, like if every time I talk to you, it's like I feel drained or like it's too much, you're toxic.
Yep.
It's too much. Some people be unconsciously toxic. That's how I really feel. Like if you're just a negative person, every time I talk to you, it's a crisis or the end of the world. Like it's too much. It's too much.
You need some positivity. Like,
and I'm quick to cut a friend off.
Number 2. They try to intimidate you to get their way.
Damn.
You know, pretty much if you feel you've been manipulated or bullied into making a choice or committing to an action that, on reflection, you feel is either wrong or benefits another at your expense, then you might be worth considering whether the person who pushed you into that situation is toxic. So, if you ever felt like forced into making a decision, whereas you felt like you haven't, like it really wasn't a choice, where they more so try to persuade you or, you know, try to like give you that extra nudge into doing something that you say that you do not want to do, you're dealing with somebody toxic.
Do you feel like I've ever done that to you?
I mean, I'm pretty sure, but I'm pretty sure this goes for everybody. Because obviously, if you want, like, even a friend, like, I know for a fact I've done this with friends. Like, you know, if I'm just like, come on, man, stop being a bitch, just come out. Like, I don't know, like, you know, like pretty much just like.
That's mean to say.
I don't know, like, let's just say if I wanted to go to the club or something, or just out somewhere.
And they just like, no, I don't want to.
Nah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna be like, man, you acting like a bitch, man. You know, like, come on, it's vacation. Like, you acting like a bitch.
Toxic.
You never said it on, like, vacation, like, if your friends is being corny and you want to go somewhere, like.
I have.
Like, come out. But at the end of the day, you're trying to manipulate them.
Yeah.
You're saying negative stuff to try to get a different reaction out of them. And I've done that. Like, you acting like an old man. Like, I mean, when they probably just tired, or they probably don't really want to engage.
And really,
in
that means
activity.
we're not respecting them.
Really, that's what it is when it comes down to. Number 3, they try control by guilt tripping.
I thought you was pointing at me.
I mean, guilt tripping is pretty, like, self-explanatory.
I be guilt tripping, okay?
So, if someone uses your care, love, or goodwill against you in order to gain themselves, that person does not have your best interests at heart and might do more damage in the long run than you think. I don't really think that matches that definition.
Yeah, that's weird.
I feel like more so guilt tripping is, for example...
Go ahead. You might as well tell a story of me guilt tripping.
I'm going to tell a story, like, I don't know, I come home from work or something, and I'm like, hey, so the guy said this and that, whatever, we about to head to the bar. Yeah. And if she's just like, whoa, damn, I was trying to spend time with you, though, but if you want to do that, go ahead. That's guilt tripping, because at the end of the day...
You're not really, like, giving you an option.
You're not really, like... and no, end of the day, you are giving me that option, but it's not sincere.
Right, I made it salty.
Yeah, like, you made it salty. It wasn't like, oh, damn, okay, babe, I mean, you can go and just, you know, we can chill out tomorrow, or we can do this and that. It's more so like, you could go, but you about to be feeling guilty tonight, like you feeling like...
Like you made the wrong choice. Yeah,
like, you're, like, pretty much guilt tripping is, you know, you feel entitled to make someone feel away. That's what it comes down to.
I don't think you've ever guilt tripped me.
I don't like doing it because I don't like it.
I really can't even think of one time that you've guilt tripped me, and I've guilt tripped you.
Yeah, I don't do it. Like, I mean, if you're saying you're going out, whatever, like, have fun. But that's, you know, you get what you want. I don't like being guilt tripped, so I'm not gonna do it.
But I've also never really put you in predicaments where you would have had to guilt trip me.
Yes, you have. There's been times we went to go hang with your friends where I could just been like, damn, babe, I'd rather you spend the night with me.
But I never do that. I'm saying, like, I feel like with us, it's usually the kids involved and stuff like that. Like, the kids come into factor. It's not like you had the kids all day or something, and then I came home and was just like, oh, yeah, I'm actually about to dip. And you'd be like, damn, I wish I kind of was planning on such and such. Because I feel like, you know, if you said that to me, I would cancel my plans. I would be like, oh, I'll stay with you.
But I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't, but I'm just saying. But I've never even put you in a situation to have to guilt trip me. Yeah, I mean, it may sound like I'm trying to manipulate you, but...
That's what she
So I'm toxic. What's the next one?
Number 4, they are easily jealous. So, toxic people, they use boundaries as a means of control and play the victim role when their boundaries are crossed or not respected.
I'm feeling very targeted right now.
You're very toxic. And... You know, I do feel like jealousy sometimes can also be tapped into guilt tripping.
Yeah. If you're jealous,
It's all
then
like
it's easy to get
there's
started.
a lot of these 7 signs are kind of all tied into each other, interconnected.
Yeah.
Because number 5, they constantly see themselves as a victim. So
I'm feeling very attacked right now.
a toxic person won't see themselves as toxic, and if their actions come back to bite them, they are happy to shift blame and paint themselves as a victim. I gotta say, this is kind of, she's naturally a finger pointer. She's always trying to point the blame to somebody. It's never no one's to blame. Somebody gotta take the blame. So a lot of these traits is falling right in her end.
I do be the victim though, because you be doing stuff to me. I'm the victim. You're doing things to me.
Finger pointing. Number 6, they give backhanded compliments. Sometimes a toxic person in your life won't want you to feel good about yourself because that undermines their own confidence. She does not do that.
Oh my God, I know someone who does this, and I really want to say their name.
They feel the need to belittle, drag down, and humiliate others, even friends.
Yo, that's
in order to make themselves feel better and reinstate the hierarchy in their relationship.
And that is such a strange trait to
Toxic.
me. And even it's toxic, yes, but it's weird to me with friends. I feel like if you have to say something to put me down, to put yourself up, you're not my friend. Cause now I want to fight you. Like now, like you're making this a hostile environment when it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
If you feel like any friends are doing that, either cut them off or fight them.
And I feel like that's more so of a female trait.
Yeah.
I don't know too many
men that
do that. I feel like men probably do that to men they don't know, but I don't know too many dudes that kind of do that
to their friends. A lot of females do that, and I feel like I'm a person that has let that go on. And then it's like once you leave it unchecked, it just runs rampant. And now you're just in too deep. And I'm like, damn, like, am I bugging or do you even like me?
Alright, let me get to number 7.
At least that one wasn't me.
Yeah. 7, they are overly defensive. They use their friends as the butt of their jokes to impress people.
Oh, I do not like that.
The second someone confronts them about it or jokes about them, they get upset. I don't. I'm a jokester. We could rank. We can have a whole flaming session.
No, don't rank me. I don't rank people. You know that.
Well,
don't rank me.
Not ever crack a little subtle joke.
I'm not. I don't crack. Shit. No, I'm never about to rank somebody.
You can't even laugh either. Don't be
it's
laughing at no jokes either. Because I'm one,
that's
and
toxic.
all my boys
that's
is one.
Because
if I see you in that corner laughing, oh, so you want to be included? Okay, come step inside the roast. You want to be included? You better sit your ass and laugh in that corner silently.
That's actually funny because in school, when people used to like rank each other, I know my personality. Like if you rank me, one, I'm either gonna cry or I'm gonna want to fight. So I would never the type to like rank people. I'm not doing that. But if some shit was funny, I always tried to just like laugh on the low because I didn't want nobody to be like, bitch, you think you're funny? I'll be like, no.
And I'm gonna say his name because he always does this and it's hilarious. And sometimes if I'm not trying to get bucked, I won't laugh because he be coming with the flames. Rel is a prime example of someone, if he's getting flamed and if he catch you the slightest bit laughing, and if something's wrong with your appearance to the slightest that's it. Attention shifts on you. Fuck the other person. Now it's on you. Just like that.
That's toxic, bro.
Okay, so they are all too keen to use you as the punchline, but when the tables are turned, they are called out on their actions. They don't react well and get overly offensive.
Yeah, you're a defensive person. Sorry, bro. This one is for you.
You are too.
I'm not defensive.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. You're rubbing off on me. Like, remember when I got defensive the other day? I said it was like some traits that you were passing to me because you've been defensive up front.
I know I'm defensive, but
okay, and even you trying to put it on me is a clear example of how you're defensive.
Nah.
That one was you. I admitted some of them other ones was me. That one is all you, buddy boy.
Think about how someone makes you feel about yourself. Are you on a high after seeing them, or do they knock your confidence? Connect with people who love you for All right. Oh, my bad. That was a conclusion.
I know. I was
scratch
like,
all that
okay.
shit. But anyways, if any of those 7 things apply to you, you should probably take a look in the mirror and kind of check yourself before you wreck yourself. Ice Cube voice.
Oh, Ice Cube, baby. Is it that song?
Nah.
Is it a song, baby?
It's
Oh,
called
that's
Check
not-
Yourself. Before you, it was actually.
Oh, I'm thinking you could
it was
do it with your
actually-
back into it.
Oh, no. That's my shit, though.
So now that we've painted the picture for you of your toxic ways, because I know that it applies to mad of you.
At least 99.9% of the population.
Because a lot of you guys are following us on Instagram, and we've been doing a couple polls. And listen, them things ain't anonymous. I see what y'all been clicking.
And don't worry.
And it's toxic.
We're going to tap into those in a later episode. You're not slick. We already screenshotted everything. We see who said what, so you getting called out too.
Right, we might flash your name up here. I don't know.
Throw a little at name.
I feel like everyone is a little toxic. Obviously, from that article, there was like 2 traits maybe that applied to me. A bunch applied to you. So everyone's like a little toxic.
Yeah, I hear her capping. That's toxic too. Capping is very toxic.
Everybody's a little toxic. But you just have to like take a look in the mirror at yourself and
At least
pause.
Yeah, kind of
sometimes.
catch yourself after and be like, dang, that was I can't do that. Don't just be content. Like hold yourself accountable.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a lot of toxic stuff it just kind of happens, and I feel like a lot of shit is also embraced on social media, which make us as people feel like it's okay and normalized, which
is not the case. I feel like I've been in some toxic situations in the past, whether it's friends or exes or just work situations. Just scrolling on Facebook, which I like to do here and there. Sidebar, I think everybody should take like a Facebook break at some point, because I did take a little break. Remember when we took that social media break for a little bit? I feel like I got so much done in that amount of time. Everybody should take a little social media break.
I feel like that too. Like I feel like me as a especially as a manager, like and just like I don't be supervised. Like
Yeah.
At one point I literally was just like
Scrolling
and patrolling, not doing what I was supposed to be doing at work, and just like and not really like she stated earlier on in the episode. Like I'm not a content person. I'm always looking for
What's
next, and right now I'm more so looking at what's next in our life, the next steps we're going to take to be successful and financially free is the term. So these things were being done, and it wasn't like I was doing anything like
like as if you were in school and you didn't have the time.
It wasn't like
right.
I was doing anything that was helping me progress. It was just lliterally just entertainment, reading fucking
mindless
Facebook
entertainment.
posts. So I'm still on Facebook to this day.
To
this day. and I barely use Instagram or Snapchat every now and then, and it's been good, I do, like before I feel like I was just kind of on it all day just watching and shit, but now I do get on it occasionally to kind of just be tapped into things and see what's going on in the world and stuff like that. But I do feel like kind of like taking that break from all social media really let me know I don't really need this shit. It's cool to have. It's cool to have, but like I don't need to be on this shit all day.
It should be leisure.
Yeah,
and
it should be a leisure. So
I know, sorry, I got us on a little tangent. But back to Facebook. I do be on Facebook sometimes, and I actually am ashamed to admit that I am one of those people. Oh.
My bad.
Okay. I'm ashamed to admit that I am one of those people on Facebook that if there is a live of somebody ranting about their baby father's mother's sisters fighting, or it's a fight, listen, I be all in them 800 comments. I will load them comments up from the beginning. I will literally figure out who the person is. I go to them, add them. I'll figure out who the other person is, go to them, add them. I be all in the comments. I be looking at the comments, because you can reply to certain comments. I'll be in that thing all day, and that is so toxic. Especially watching like fights and things like that. After, I literally be like, Kaya, come on. because that's dangerous. Like,
it's very toxic. Because at the end of the day, you know, people do shit for views these
yep.
days.
And I'm giving them what they want.
You giving them views, and now it's just like, you know, it's in their eyes, it's not frowned upon when it really should be. And it's a lot of, like, you know, we won't rant too much, but just, you know, that's a very good example she made with the, you know, the Facebook lives and the Instagram lives. And the example I had was the internet trolling. Very toxic behavior, very weird behavior.
It is, and it's normal now.
It's normal. Like, where do you get off from talking shit or doing stuff to random people?
Anonymous at that, because it'd be random accounts like with one follower.
I never really understood it. Again, take the time to, if you need to, rewind back to those traits. And pretty much what trolls do is, you know, they're trying to purposely bring you down by the stuff they're saying.
To bring themselves up. That has to be making them feel better.
Yeah, like, I mean, some trolls I feel like are just bored, which is just weird. Like, spend your time doing something else. I don't know. But that whole trolling shit was always weird to me. The whole Instagram lives is very toxic too, trying to get views doing a wild shit. Like, I remember that girl who did the
who crashed the school bus?
The throat baby video.
With the school bus?
For mad
she
attention.
Was on drugs, though, I think.
I don't know. It appears to me. It appears to me. She was looking for attention. Like, she was like putting her fucking hand in her mouth, trying to deep throat her hand or some shit. I don't know. This shit was weird.
And we watched it. So really, we're toxic as well. Mm-hmm. Because that's almost like a drug addict, and we just keep supplying them with drugs. Like, she would have not even got the reaction that she wanted if a million of us weren't in the comments laughing, tagging people.
Next day she was out of jail. She was happy as hell. Like, I'm famous. I made World Star. Like,
and then I think she was trying to make more videos.
Yeah, like, it can be very toxic. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what that person's mental is and what they're willing to do.
Right, they'll just keep trying to go further and further.
And
yeah,
it can lead to very bad habits.
Super toxic. Relationships can really bring out the best in a person or the worst, or both. And I feel like that is where people are usually like the most toxic, because it's like love is involved and feelings and all this shit, and you can be really toxic, like super toxic. Basically, say we're together, we break up, and now you're like fucking with someone else, and I don't want you to prosper. I don't want you to be with anyone else. So I'm still like forcing myself into situations. Like, say you post you and your girl, I put the laughing emoji on it. Or I'm subbing, like, damn, my ex just can't leave me alone, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes that stuff really is true, because y'all be sneaky, and y'all do be dibbling and dabbling.
It's toxic, at the end of the day.
But it's toxic. Yes, that is a toxic thing, ladies. And it's not going to get us anywhere. Because, number one, if he's really not fucking with you no more, he's probably going to block you. And now, that is like grounds for you to even take it a step further. Like, if you block me now, like, damn, am I going to just get another number so I can try to call you on that? Or am I going to try to email you? Or taking it too far?
Like, I've seen posts like that. I've seen posts, and I think it was a female who wrote,
who said, if I block you,
you better try to email me or pop up or do something to get in contact with me. And that's very toxic, because you're doing the most now. Why do you want someone who's willing to pretty much stalk you at that point? Like, you want someone that crazy over you? That's very toxic. That could turn into some shit.
Right, and it's crazy because society has made us think that that's okay. Because I'm not gonna lie, I probably reposted some stuff like that in the past. I've grown, but it's just like, why did I even feel like that was cool? Like, because I have definitely blocked people in the past and then checked my voicemail. You know, it has like a blocked voicemail thing to see, like, damn, they're not gonna leave me no message. They're not gonna try to get me somehow.
I know, right? You want to know what else is toxic? What? The whole left on red culture.
Explain.
Leaving someone on red. Like, obviously, you know, when iPhone started this, or, you know, all these apps and shit, leaving someone on seen red, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, because now it's seen,
It's just like, people are so and this goes both ways. Some people, they just get very like defensive over being left on red, like so angry, like bro, it's like it ain't that serious. If they wanted to respond, they would have responded. You know,
I'd be angry.
Well, hey, it ain't that serious. End of the day, you know, unless you feel like someone's personally ignoring you, then that's it still ain't that serious. Like for for you to go to that
Right,
extent.
because take it for what it is.
Take it for what it is. They clearly don't want to speak to you at that point.
Yeah.
That's it. But what I was speaking more towards for toxic culture is this whole like bragging about leaving someone on scene. Like, let's just say if like I'm gonna give an example. I'm gonna just make this a gender neutral example.
Okay.
If you just with your friends or whatever like that, and you're on Instagram scrolling, and you go by someone and they just like, oh, she cute or he cute, and then the person just randomly be like, oh yeah, they
he
thirsty.
wrote me.
I left them on scene. Like, what is it with leaving someone on red that is
Don't make it gender neutral, because this sounds like a girl saying that in regard to a guy. Don't gender neutralize it.
I try to be fair, but she's seen through my bullshit. So yes.
Yeah. So basically,
I see a lot of
I'm scrolling with one of my girls, and the girl like, oh, he cute, and I'm like,
thirsty.
he not thirsty. I left him on red.
Like, if you really don't care, and if he's so thirsty, why are you bringing that up? That's very toxic. Because in that moment, if you go back to the definitions, even though you might not like him, you're still territorial over the fact that he went after you and now is going after your friend, which I also found was very strange. For if a guy tried to talk to a girl and for whatever reason she wasn't with it and entertain it, and if he went for her friend down the line instead, in that point, why does it matter?
Are you asking me?
Well, yes.
This is like gross for a whole episode. It's crazy because I did want to talk about that in the future, but I'll give you a little dibble with it. The problem is,
you ain't want him.
Listen.
Okay.
As I know, I will speak for me and my friends. I'm a territorial person, period. So, a lot of my friends are also territorial. When me and you first started talking, if one of my close in my circle friends was just like, oh yeah, he was trying to fuck with me a long time ago, but I wasn't feeling it. Yeah, I curved him. I probably wouldn't even wanted to talk to you because I just feel like she has this like one up on me. Like, you really wanted her and I was like the second option type thing. Even if that's not the case, that's what I'm going to be thinking in my head. So I'm just not going to do it.
I feel like that's a female thing.
Choose who you want to try to slide in them DMs wisely. You better look at all the friends and see. That's just like with y'all. Like, if it was a group of guys and I tried to talk to one friend, and then later on I see a different friend and I'm like, damn, I should have tried to talk to that one. Like, it's weird because you guys are friends.
I mean, honestly, in that situation, I probably won't take you serious, but I'll probably still smash.
That's what I'm saying. So I wasn't trying to take you serious either because you was trying to fuck with my friend. So that's not. Well, I can see the toxic side.
What I'm saying is, because I mean,
we're just talking about you were just attempting to talk to her. So I'm saying I can see why you're saying it's toxic for me to throw that shade. You feel like I'm throwing shade and saying like, oh yeah, I left him on red.
It's shade and unnecessary boundary in my eyes.
It could be shade, but it also could be I'm letting you know already that he was interested in me and I wasn't with it. Because I would want my friends to tell me that. I don't want to start talking to you and then find out you actually tried to talk to Portia and she left you on red. And not for nothing, if I say someone's thirsty, just writing me one time and being left on red is not thirsty. If you write me 15, even five times and you're left on red, you're definitely thirsty. Because after the second time, it wasn't an error. Even the first time, I'm not writing somebody else if they ignore me.
Some of y'all
but
dudes
5 times, that's thirsty.
Some of y'all dudes is toxic. Some of these screenshots I done seen, and by the way, sharing screenshots, that's still very toxic.
But you participate in it.
Why are you sharing it to the public?
Yeah.
If you really fear for your safety, share that shit to the police or some shit. Like, but sharing it to us, what the fuck are we gonna do to y'all?
For your safety.
What are the point of they showing it for?
To be toxic and get laughs.
Exactly. That's the whole point. It's not cool. So, and at the same time, you know, some of y'all dudes, y'all need to just like fall back and kind of like read into some shit. Like I feel like y'all dudes that fucking sit there and write a girl good morning, beautiful every other week without no response.
And there's a lot of them.
Without no response, it's weird. Like sometimes you're not even getting like a little double tap,
right?
Like heart.
But that's what I'm saying, babe. Me telling my friend, "Oh, he's thirsty because he wrote me 8 times." That's not unnecessary shade. I'm helping her to avoid some shit that like. If he's the type of nigga to write a girl 8 times ignored, sis, you don't need to talk to him. So it could be toxic, but it also could just be me being a friend.
That's not the example I was making. I was making an example more so of a territorial example where you just weren't interested in the dude who hit you up and you pretty much, you know, threw shade on the situation by saying he's thirsty, although he may not have been thirsty, but just kind of like you don't want your friend fucking with him. That's what I was getting to.
That's from your perspective because you don't know that. I could just be saying that, "Oh, he thirsty." Like,
yeah.
You don't know that it's because I'm being territorial.
Well, why else would
that's
he be
what
thirsty?
I'm saying. That's from your perspective.
If he hit you up one time, you just said that's not thirsty. So why else would you say he's thirsty? If he hit you up like what 8 times you said, right? 5 times? Prove my point.
Do you have a toxic story?
Yeah, so my toxic story is actually inspired by Kanye West. 30 hours.
30 hours.
If you know at the end where he started talking about, you know, Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher situation, where, you know, Matt Barnes drove. I mean, I feel like he exaggerated the whole 30-hour drive.
He probably really did drive 30 hours.
I think Matt said it was 3 hours, which is still kind of crazy. Like, that's like me driving to fucking Pennsylvania to try to catch Kanye in the act.
That's so long.
Anyways,
I would have lost my anger.
Yeah, at that time. I would have felt so shameful as soon as I got like to New York.
Like, what am I doing?
Like, what does this come to? Like, this is me right now. Like,
as you was driving, you would have got your reflection in the window. Like
fuck,
Jordan.
Like, I'm getting off the next accident. I'm turning around. Man.
But tell us.
So my story has to do with the ex. You know, pretty much. You know, a lot of stuff before, you know, me and Kai were together is kind of a blur to me. So I'll give you guys what I remember. Pretty much, we were arguing or something like that. She was being toxic, actually, now that I remember. She was,
You weren't being toxic?
She was ignoring me. Ignoring is very toxic. Because at the end of the day, like, don't just... Well, actually, I can't say that, because she probably did say she didn't want to talk to me. So I should have just took it as it was. But, instead... You know, myself, one of my triggers is the very thing that I do to other people.
Which is ignore
them. So I was triggered. Being triggered, you know, I was looking, you know, for a response and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is we were having conversation, you know, through text. And she was responding, but it was very vague, you know, like one word. And then eventually... You know, like combos kind of dying down. Like I don't do one word responses. Like
right, because you're trying to play me.
Her defense. I already knew you was I already knew that you was uninterested in talking to me. But
right, she said stop talking to me.
But it's just like I didn't see no solution. I didn't really see where we were going with this. You know, like I didn't do anything major. I honestly don't remember what the fuck I did. I probably said something wrong or something like that. But it wasn't like I don't know, did something major. So I felt a way about getting ignored. This was going on pretty much all day. I want to say from the morning to the night. So now I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? So once I didn't get a response for a while, you know, I started asking her questions like, where you at? And then she responded, you know, I'm at my friend's house. Okay, cool. And it was just so like vague to me and just so sketchy to me. I could have been reading into it. I couldn't. I don't know. Anyways, I wasn't getting the responses I liked. I started feeling concerned, and I took a little 30-minute drive. Nothing crazy.
That was a long drive.
Nothing crazy. Took a little 30-minute joyride.
30 hours.
Took a little 30-minute joyride. Pulled up. You know, she did not have her own spot. So that's one thing about me is I can't control my temper. I did show up.
Sometimes.
I did. Yeah, sometimes. She knows I go 0 to 100. Ain't no in between.
Quickety quick.
So I did pull up. Did not see her car.
Where she said she was supposed
Where
to
she
be.
said she was supposed to be. And now I'm just like, oh, this bitch lying to me. She really got me fucked up. She want to see crazy. This ain't me.
Right? It's so crazy because you're not even like that.
This ain't me, but it could be me because I felt so disrespected. So at that point, I think I really don't remember if I contacted her and was just like, I'm here, where you at? I don't think I did that. I think at that point I was just kind of like camping out a little bit, waiting to see if she pull up so I can confront her. Very toxic. Very toxic. But that didn't happen. I think I waited for about 10, 15 minutes. I ain't see no car. I think I reached out again. I never told her. I don't think I ever told her I pulled up either. To this day.
Which is so weird. I would have definitely, I would have been like, nigga, I'm outside.
Can't be looked at all crazy. Plus, so I just like, from that point, I kind of just like took it in the chin, and shit wasn't the same after that. At that point, I just realized, damn, can't trust these bitches. Nah, I mean, stop. I just realized.
You was thinking that.
I just realized that at that point, I can't trust her. And from that point on, we were still together.
Which is also toxic in itself.
Very toxic, because like I said, I took it in the chin.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in proof, and I had no proof. Even though she was lying, I had no proof of where she was at or what the fuck she was doing. So, I kind of like, obviously once we got past that, I asked her, and she told me that, she was at a friend's house. I didn't have no close relationships with her friend, and that's not for me to be hitting her friends up anyway. It's like, hey, is someone so with you?
It's people that do that, and that is very toxic as well.
Very. I feel like it puts not only your relationship in jeopardy, because there's certain boundaries that should be established. Like,
yep.
So, yeah, that's my story. That's very toxic. I ain't doing no Matt Barnes shit like that again. You live and learn. You grow. And you just kind of like look in the mirror, and I'm very shameful over that moment. I mean, it's funny looking back. It
could have been worse, babe. You could have literally camped out until she came back.
I could have, and I know people
that would have.
I know friends who've pulled up to, their exes or girls' houses and shit, and they didn't give a fuck that they live with their parents. They knocking on the door, tell her come outside. That's some toxic shit, because now you don't even have respect or boundaries for the family. Like, bro, that's just dead. You might as well just go home. Because how is that going? Because now the family think you crazy. It's slow. Like,
yeah. Oh, I do have a toxic story from the past. I was in a relationship that was why I said I ain't doing no more Taurus is that Taurus. I'm not into zodiacs, but it ain't it. So, I had some suspicions of infidelity and just like sneaky things, and that is just something that really triggers me, because I don't like people to do things to me that I don't do to them. If I'm not doing it to you, I do not want you to do it to me. Like, however I treat you is how I want you to treat me back. So I had suspicions of like infidelity and like sneaky stuff. I really also, like you said, it's so long ago, like I can't remember every single detail. But I do remember I was at this ex's, I'm not even gonna say house because it wasn't no house, but I ain't gonna get into that. I was at this ex's
You see that throwing shade? Toxic.
I was at this ex's place of residence.
Place of residence.
And he was knocked. And ladies, when they be like sleep, that sleep where you can go through their phones, which is toxic. And we actually don't really do that. But when they be knocked out, when you can literally go like this to grab the phone and they don't wake up, like, it's free game. So I'm going to his phone. First, the crate already was a red flag. That thing was kind of empty. Like, stuff was already deleted. Like, bing, you be deleting shit. Like, where's the messages? Like, where is the pictures? Where's the stuff in here? It really wasn't nothing in there. But then I started, so it literally was like nothing in the messages. It was like nothing in the pictures. call log was cleared. Like that is a red ass flag. Why is your call log cleared?
I gotta clear that shit out. Like fucking Pablo. Feds ain't getting me.
Shit. Mind you, we weren't even in an argument or nothing at the time, so it's not even like, you know, I've seen in like movies when shit pop off, that's when they clear the phone out. That means you just be prepared. So you're sneaky. But anyway, I'm going in, I'm not finding shit. So I end up going on Instagram and I'm just like scrolling, I'm checking the DMs, cleared as well. But I start scrolling and I see a picture of my ex, a girl, his friend, and another girl on some double date shit. And when I say my hands were literally like shaking, I'm holding the phone and he's just asleep, peaceful. Just, oh my gosh, like, just anger just overcame me. I couldn't even like contain it. I threw that fucking phone so hard. Just, it's crazy too, because in my head, like, I don't want to fight or do anything like that. I don't really want to hurt you. It was just like a blanket of rage. I just threw that phone like so hard. That shit bounced. And that was the glass iPhones. It was horrible. And that was so toxic. And that is one area of my life that I really regret, because like that was too far. Because what would have happened if he got up and choked me or slammed me on the ground or punched me in the face? Because it was painful. It was a mark. And that was just an area that it was just like, this is really toxic. Even though he was toxic first. Damn, I was just playing the finger. Yeah. Was that a trait from earlier?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but somebody is always wrong. That's the truth. Somebody is at fault. He was at fault first. If there was nothing in that phone, I would have went to sleep.
Yeah, but also you were at fault when you chose to get physical. You understand?
Yeah. I was wrong. So that's probably I feel like that's like one of the most toxic things I've ever done. Because I'm not really the type to be like going through phones and stuff. That's not something that I enjoy doing. Because I know a lot of girls that's like their thing. They have their boyfriend's phone emails attached to their email and stuff like that. And that's just like, sis, if you are to the point where you can't trust him that much, break up. Just break up. So yeah, that was my toxic story. And I'm not proud of it.
No, you live and learn. Grow.
I grew. I never hit you with the phone.
Yeah.
Let's just dead the toxic culture. I'm going to try my best not to join these Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives, because I'll surely be screenshotting it and sending it to Kayla, and that's toxic, and it's horrible. But y'all need to stop going on live, because then I won't even have to watch it. But thank you for watching another episode, and we'll see you next week.